Spencer Lazara, MMA interviews here in the room of Mr. Erik Koch for UFC 170. You're taking on Rafaello Oliveira. They call him the Tractor. What do you think about that nickname? He's gonna try to run over you? What's gonna happen here?
I think he's gonna try and run over me. It's not gonna work, and he's gonna gas out. He's gonna run out of the diesel fuel and gas out.
You're definitely comfortable on your feet, and that's somewhere where you probably want this fight to take place?
Definitely. I always want to, always give the fans something they want to see, and everybody likes people that stand up and, try to deliver a knockout. So, I'm well versed. I know he's really good on the ground, and if it does go to the ground, I'm confident, I can do what I got to do to get back up and keep it standing. But yeah, definitely.
Have you worked harder since the last fight on takedown defense or your ground defense? So what have you been working on to make sure that you get the W here?
I'm always working. I'm constantly working on new things to improve, It's just one of those things that the biggest improvement is I'm moving up a weight class. And this is the weight class I should have been for a while. And 45 was just too much. A lot of people think, oh, you got to take it down easy. I cut a lot of weight. I feel strong, got a lot of pep in my step. So you're going to see the real Erik Koch.
Were you looking to do like more Olympic lifting or like put on some muscle since you didn't have to cut as much weight, or how has your process been?
I put on a little muscle, but I didn't have to put on too much because I walked around so heavy already as it was, and it was one of those things that I was actually cutting a lot of muscle to get to 45. So it was one of those things that I should have just been there a long time ago. But I think I put on another 5 pounds good muscle, and weight's good. I've never felt better.
Do you think that's a common thing that guys are trying to go down to a lower weight? Everyone seems to want to get that advantage by cutting. Do you think that's common that guys are doing too much and maybe should feel more comfortable at a weight higher?
I really do. I think it should be the opposite. I think I think a lot of people they hit a roadblock at a weight division, and they think the next logical step is to move down, when really it's just not healthy for you in general. It's bad on your body. I did it. It's fast track to diabetes, man. I would cut 35, 40 pounds, and I would balloon up. A lot of people don't know, when I hurt my knee, when I was supposed to fight Aldo, I got up to 210. I got pictures that blow people's minds, Same things happened with like Mark Munoz, stuff like that. So, I honestly think moving up, and in a sport like this, you need a lot of energy. You're going to the ground. You're standing up. You're punching people in the face. This isn't wrestling. Wrestling, you may be tired, but you're getting pinned. You're not going to have any bodily harm. We're getting hit in the face. We're doing brain damage. So for you to kill yourself and cut that much weight and do that much damage to your brain and then fight the next day is a terrible idea. So I think that it's common right now. A lot of dudes cutting weight and moving down weight classes, but I actually think it should be opposite.
Is there a lot of talk then with Anthony being happy that Aldo, all the talk of him coming up, so he gets to stay at 55 as opposed to doing what you're saying and cutting extra weight and getting down to a spot where he hasn't really fought?
Totally. I think even Anthony will tell you at 55, he's got a lot of energy. He's never, saying, and never making 45 before. Even if you think you can do it, the first time is always the worst. That's how mine was even. The first time I made 45, my body wasn't used to it, and it didn't react well. So I honestly think, if Aldo moves up, it'd be the better matchup. Yeah.
And for you, it seems like speed would be something also that would help you out at this weight. You'd be the faster guy. Have you thought about that?
Totally. That's been my game my entire career. Everybody's like, that's your thing, your speed, you're striking it. And the last couple fights, it was I would literally cut so much weight, all that was gone. So this now I finally, I feel like I do in training. This is the week of the fight, and I feel like just the same. I don't feel bad. I'm not, usually this last week, even Duke will tell you, he'd get mad at me. He'd be like, what the hell? What you were doing last week, you're not doing this week. And it's because I was killing myself trying to cut weight. So mentally, physically, makes all the difference.
How is it being in the freezing cold weather during the winter, during camp? Does it make it more of a pain, or is it just kind of you just want to stay in the gym, so it's kind of a benefit? How does that work?
It's a benefit, but it sucks. I'll tell you this, snow always sucks. I mean, there is nothing other to do than train. Obviously, we don't want to go out and party or do anything because it's cold as hell. But snow sucks, man. I was, I think, Monday, I got stuck in traffic. Probably normally a 20-minute drive. I got stuck for 3 hours. Ridiculous. It snows, people freak out, so I hate it. It drives me nuts.
Nice to be out here in Vegas, warm weather, and you're getting outside a little bit, enjoying that.
It's great to be here in Vegas. It's awesome. If I could change anything about where I train, it would be the climate, definitely.
We'll talk about your opponent too, and anything else you want to say about the matchup.
Honestly, I think, I just think it's a good matchup for me. I'm excited. A lot of guys aren't super excited about being first on card. I'm the first fight on the card. Every time this has happened, it's been good things for me. It's been
kind of uncharted waters. I mean, you had such momentum going on, and now does that kind of feel weird to be back on the first fight?
It does, but I like getting it started, and I like getting to business. Start the night off right, and like I said, this is where my KO bonuses come. This is a new weight class, this is a new me, and I want that extra bread. I need that money. So I'll be looking for a knockout for sure.
And then you can enjoy the rest of the night. I guess that's nice too. You don't have to wait. You don't have the butterflies. You just get in there and fight.
I get to watch McMahon and Rousey fight and, and enjoy, maybe have a beer. So.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say?
Just thanks to all my cokeheads, all my fellow cokeheads out there, man. I'm going to represent for you guys. And, thanks to my pops, my biggest motivation. He's my biggest supporter. I love my dad. So he's literally right here with me. I'm sporting some new ink. Got his portrait on my chest. So I love you, Dad.
Right on. Goals for 2014. Last thing.
Goals for 2014, I actually want to get at least 4 fights in. So, this being a new weight class and being able to make the weight easier, I want to get more fights in, just get more active. 45, I would literally need like a 3-month span of dieting. This time I can start taking, short notice fights. So I want to get a bunch of fights and most importantly, win them all, get a streak going.
All right, excited to see it. Mr. Erik Koch, Spencer Lazara. Catch him out, UFC 170 this Saturday.
Hey, this is Ariane Celeste.
This is Uriah Faber.
This is Glover Teixeira.
This is Dan Henderson. You're watching MMA Interviews.
MMA Interviews.
You're watching MMAinterviews.tv.